Welcome to Stump the Idiot by Coco Sports, KOCOsports.com. This is probably one of my favorite shows to do, but also probably the one that gets the least amount of views. Yay! We have tons of questions from the Facebooks, from the Twitters, from the YouTubes, and we're trying to catch up, so we have tons of questions. If you are a live viewer by any chance and you want to drop a question, go ahead, and we'll try to sneak in some live comments too. We've got an explosion, just an explosion of questions on my thoughts about CM Punk. And I wish I could have got Rob or Boom Boom here, maybe have a different view. My thoughts on CM Punk is, I think he changed wrestling forever, and I don't understand, the hate. What's great about doing a podcast, and, you can go back and listen to it, but I used to always say, when CM Punk first showed up in the developmental territory, I believe it was Ohio Valley, I said, he's the last chance of independent wrestling, because they were going the way of the bodybuilders, they were becoming a monopoly, and I said, if CM Punk doesn't make it, I don't think indie wrestling makes it. I honestly put that much pressure on CM Punk, and when he showed up at ECW, it was amazing. I think if CM Punk fails, and I'm putting a little bit of pressure on Kenta too. If Kenta fails, I don't know if they'll ever have a Japanese star. I think CM Punk had that pressure on him that if CM Punk failed in WWE, I don't think they would have ever went. I don't think there would be a Daniel Bryan. I don't think there would have been a Seth Rollins. I don't think a lot of these guys are going. Now, maybe, everyone has different opinions. That's my opinion. I honestly think he saved independent wrestling. And it's funny because independent wrestlers are the ones that hate him the most. To me, CM Punk saved it. Now, as far as him leaving, a lot of people are turning their backs on him. And once again, I don't understand why someone can't leave and quit a job. And I don't know what's in his contract, but I honestly have no problem with him leaving the way he left. I had no problem with Brock Lesnar leaving the way they left. People quit jobs, and a lot of it has to depend on if it's in your contract. So, bam. Sorry about that. I just got a lot of comments. But to me, I always found it funny that people on Facebook and all these social medias that are burying CM Punk are all in their sixth marriage. They're indie wrestlers that I'm too tired to drive to the show, so I'm not showing up. It's weird how people put such pressure on stars. To me, I honestly think, a lot of people ask about the CM Punk chants. I think the CM Punk chants mean a lot more than just him coming back. At one time, they chanted ECW. At one time, I think CM Punk, they're not chanting, well, some of them are, but most of them ain't chanting for CM Punk to come back. They're chanting because they're not happy with the product, and he was the answer. He is the savior, and I think he went out as a hero. Now, not everyone agrees with me, but I think it's funny that people hold CM Punk to a higher standard than themselves. And now, fans can be greedy. I've been accused of being greedy. A lot of people ask me, do I want to see CM Punk return? And there's a part of me that it's kind of crazy, but the greedy answer, I love CM Punk. He's one of my favorite wrestlers in WWE. I got to meet him in the Indies. I didn't really watch his Ring of Honor stuff just because, they had trouble. They had trouble. You know the deal with RF Video. I couldn't support the company. I loved the product, but I just couldn't support it back then. And, to me, as a greedy fan, like, oh, you're a mark, you're greedy, I kind of don't want him to come back. I know this sounds bad because you're like, oh, I'm a huge CM Punk fan. I hope he never comes back. I think this is the perfect ending for CM Punk. He said, fuck you, he took his ball, went home, the whole 9 yards, and I was kind of impressed with that. So, I don't know, different people take it a different way, but I see him as he's leaving as a hero. He's the ultimate anti-establishment guy. He's not faking the funk. He's the real deal. And, I'm trying to look up his Twitter real quick. He gave a real good thank you Twitter, and I thought it was good. Here it is. It says, nope. It was everyone was started to thank you, Punk, or thanks, Punk. And, I even said CM Punk, thanks for the memories. But he tweeted, nope, thank you. Thanks for all the help and support through the years, health and happiness above all. And this is the part where I think he's a fucking hero. This is the part where people want CM Punk's the character. People want Stone Cold's the character, but when there's a real-life CM Punk, especially this generation, they bitch out like a motherfucker. And the next part is really important. Don't ever take any shit from anybody. How do you not see that? So to me, I don't know. Maybe I'm anti-establishment. Maybe I'm that. And I've never left a job without giving the warning. So a lot of people are like, oh, you're a quitter. No, I've never left a job ever without my contract being up. But at the same time, if you get treated like shit, your job is 90... I'm making this stat up, but it feels this way. Just made up number brought to you by CocoSports.com. Your job is like 98% of your life. If you don't enjoy your job, it's going to affect your whole life. And he didn't enjoy it, so let the man be. And hopefully he finds happiness. But there, everyone always, especially when it comes to CM Punk and wrestling, everyone always says, oh, you're greedy, you're this. I am kind of greedy, Mark, whatever. You can call me whatever you want. I kind of don't want him to return. I think for the guy who fights the establishment, the guy who fucking helped save pro wrestling, in my opinion. Now, some people are like, oh, no, he didn't. I think he did. It's just, I guess a difference of opinion there. But I think it's the perfect ending. Now, anyone who's ever been a writer or a series, sometimes you write a book and they're like, well, you can make more money if it's a series. And then the books come out after, the first one was only supposed to be one, and they make a sequel and a second sequel, and it's not as good. I don't want to see that happen to CM Punk. I thought his WWE career was perfect for a CM Punk fan. If he comes back and he's not 100% or it's a sequel, I don't want to watch Boondock Saints 2. And there's nothing wrong with Boondock Saints 2, I assure you. But it's not Boondock Saints 1. Boondock Saints 1 was fucking amazing. And Boondock Saints 2 was good, but I think CM Punk needs just to be amazing. So, a very fanish type answer, but you know what? CocoSports.com. It's where it's okay to be a passionate fan. Now, this came out. This is the other big topic, the other big question that came from everybody. And they said, and there's memes about it, there's questions about it. How can WWE fans hate Sting in TNA? How could WWE fans say Sting's too old in TNA and sorry, I'm stuttering, I apologize, and say, wow, I'm so excited Sting's here, he's a legend. This is all over on Facebook, the memes, Twitter, and because the idea is, and this is politics, pro wrestling, and everything, people are loyal to a fault. People, example, you gotta be loyal to an idea. If you're gonna vote, don't vote for a party, vote for an idea. If you're gonna be a pro wrestling fan, vote for a style, an athlete. Don't root for a company. And here's a perfect example. I hated Jeff Hardy in North Carolina. I hated Jeff Hardy in WWE. I hate Jeff Hardy in TNA. Jeff Hardy, please don't come to Japan. Sting. I never liked Sting in TNA, but here's this fucking spoiler. I'm not looking forward to Sting in WWE. To me, as a little Stinger, the day Sting turned into the Crow, he didn't exist as a fan. He just lost me as a fan. So a lot of times people do that. I don't understand. I'll go on TNA and WWE forums and just see how loyal they are to a product. If a guy jumps from one company to another, they're all of a sudden a lot better. There's TNA fans I hate talking WWE. I love Kurt Angle. I love Jeff Hardy. I love Vince McMahon. I'm being a little sarcastic there, but I never understood that. I love the idea of the best pro wrestler that can go, that connects with the crowd, should be champion. That's what I like. I'm not loyal to one athlete because, one day you could be Stinger with blonde hair, woo, Stinger splashes and all that fun stuff, and the next minute you're fucking hanging out in the rafters for 27 fucking years. Now, I am happy, I guess, for Sting fans, for WWE fans. I'm happy for the fans that are I want to see Sting versus Undertaker. This match has to happen. But for me personally, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Sting, the day he hung out in the rafters with the baseball bat, I was done being a fan. But I think it just goes to answer your question. I just think people are loyal to companies, not ideas or wrestling or style of wrestling. And that's just scary in life. But yeah, matter of fact, I always find this too. I always find this nowadays on the internet. People accuse people of, like, they just judge everyone in one blanket swoop. Like, oh, everyone who disagrees with me is an idiot. Everyone that votes the other party is stupid. Oh, everyone that goes to WWE and TNA, I don't understand where that comes from in the human nature. And I think now it's worse than ever. There was a time, I'm an old man, there was a time when the internet brought different ideas on board. I remember going, wow, look at this, and this is back in dial-up. Like, okay, that was the worst dial-up thing. I remember you'd go dial-up and you'd be like, wow, listen, I'm speaking to someone who's a Buddhist. I'm speaking to someone who's Muslim. I'm speaking to someone who's in North Korea. And you were so excited to switch ideas. Nowadays, we live in the Facebook, block everyone that you disagree generation, YouTube, where be positive about everything or I'm going to cry, and you have Reddit, which Reddit was at one time awesome, but now you have so many subreddits, you might as well just be talking to a mirror, you know. And a lot of times people just make blanket statements. Like, a lot of times people will like, and they said this about TNA, and they said this about WWE, and WWE fans are excited for Sting, and, you know, a big one was Daniel Bryan's not over, people are turning their backs on him. But I yet have found a fan that was part of the Yes movement that still doesn't like Daniel Bryan. It's just fucking reverse garbage propaganda. But yeah, people are excited for Sting to be in WWE and not TNA. Is it hypocritical? Yeah, but I think there's a lot more TNA fans and the Facebook generation where I don't want to be a passionate pro wrestling fan. I just want to make fun of pro wrestling fans. It's bullshit. Fuck that generation. If you like Sting, it doesn't matter what fucking company he's in. Or have a fucking legit reason why you stopped liking him. I was a huge little Stinger. Clash of Champions 1 is one of my favorite memories in the world. I remember it was one of the first, either the first or second time I ever cursed. And I was like, can you believe this is free? It's not fucking pay. No, I said, it's not a pay-per-view, it's fucking free. And all the adults are like, all right, Dave, we're going to beat you after this is over. And I'm like, oh, please, Blair, go 60 minutes. So, yeah, I mean, people change and all that, but I did not enjoy Sting as the Pro. All right, so there you go. Bam, let's answer some more questions. We will be getting the live comments. All right, let's go do some live comments now. Bam, we got 4. Where is Rob, Dave? I don't know. I messaged him. Rob and Boom Boom have this thing where I'm like, hey, dude, I want to do a show. You want to be a part of it? And then, like, as soon as I'm like, I am over, they're like, hey, well, I wish I was part of that show. I think they got some evilness going on. Market Garden says, Sting was horrible in TNA. He was kind of horrible in WCW towards the end, too. By the end, he couldn't even do his own moves. Yeah, I imagine, this is just me, I imagine WWE is going to get him in shape first. When he was trying to Scorpion Deathlock, the old bastard looked like an old woman trying to empty a bin. Yeah, and I always got mad at TNA fans, because they were like, you still got it! And I looked around like, what? This fucking guy? All right. I mean, if WWE gets him in shape, then maybe, but I imagine if he's going to go against Undertaker, he's going to have to go in shape. Andy Pap says, hey, Dave, thanks for the heads up on Facebook. And can you see EC3 and Spud get a future feud with the Wolves? Oh, man, that is my favorite tag team wrestling in TNA, the Wolves, and my favorite comedy team. I think my head would explode. I don't even know. What would I be rooting for? Comedy? Wrestling? I don't know. I would actually be excited for that feud, but I don't know. Sometimes when you have a great wrestling team and a great comedy tag team, it doesn't match. So I would be interested. I would keep an eye on it. I would definitely watch it. Undertaker... Market Garden, I'm so glad you're part of the internet infantry now, dude. Oh, man. Sorry. Market Garden says, Undertaker vs. Sting would have to be streamed live on botchamania.com. Plus 10 for you, Market King. All right. Bam. Bam. Let's see. Anything on Facebook? All right. And, hey, Dave, what are the requirements to be on the show besides being over 18? Being over 18, understanding that you'll probably not get paid for a very long time, and have something to plug and sell so that when you are on the show, you're not doing it for nothing. And let me see, what else are the requirements? Being able to talk. Yeah, that's about it. There's not much. You know, it would what would get us some bonus points is if you help with the blog. So yeah, and I might get other YouTubers. So I'm thinking about doing Fave Fives and doing other shit, but I always feel weird because like I'm like, oh, I'll go talk to that YouTuber about being on our show, and then I'm like, why the fuck would they be on our show? I don't know. So yeah, it's a possibility. Plus, Jerry and Pablo and David Cooey are working on some really big projects on Cool Girl Sports, and after that, I got some great ideas. But right now, Jerry and Pablo are worried about making money. And don't worry, Dave, your ideas are cool, but you never make money. Oh, pardon me. Oh, I didn't know we were so corporate. Okay. That joke went too long. But yeah, just message me privately and, we'll see. But the only reason I say over 18 is, A, I'm old as fuck. And if I have someone on here that's under 18, all right, first off, that's creepy because I'm old as fuck. And second off is if you're over 18 and you're volunteering, having fun, doing a hobby, no one's taking advantage of anyone. But if you're 17 and fucking your mom's like, what do you do every fucking day? Well, I talk shit with this old man in Japan on the net. Really? How much do you get paid for it? And you're like, well, it's volunteer. I don't really get paid for it. And then all of a sudden, I'm fucking Mark Zuckerberg. They're like, my fucking son came on your show once, and fucking you made $8 trillion. I'm like, dude, that's not how the internet works. That's not how the internet works. So we just make it a rule that you have to be at least over 18 for us to even consider you to be part of our team. And, it kind of sucks because, well, there's so many people under 18 that are amazing at online stuff. But I don't want that awkward, you took advantage of my son. You made $8 trillion and he fucking talked on a podcast for a half hour. You're a monster. So that's why we have the over 18 rule. All right, Ewok from Endor. What do you think is going on between AJ and Paige following Raw's bestie friend chat? A lot of people answered this in the comments. They think it's a lesbian storyline. I don't think so. I think if they're going to do a lesbian storyline, it will be with Summer Rae and Layla. Sorry, I forgot her name. I think she's absolutely beautiful. But Summer Rae, I think AJ and Paige are setting up for, and I'm hoping, and I think a lot of people that have followed Paige's career in the UK and NXT are hoping that she eventually goes crazy and becomes the anti-diva. I think that's what I'm hoping for. I think that's what's going to happen. None of this is fact, so that's why it's Stump the Idiot. That's what I just think. But a lot of people were responding to Ewok's comments with, like, lesbians! And I'm like, oh, they already are kind of teasing it, plus it's PG, so it's kind of interesting. Platamapa 3! I hope I pronounced that right. Why do they keep giving a certain boring wrestler win after win if his contract is expiring? He's talking about Albert Del Rio. It doesn't matter. He had one good match on main event. That was a good match. Last week's, I hate Albert Del... Well, no, let me rephrase that. I want to be clear. I love everything about Albert Del Rio except when he wrestles in the ring. I like his character. I like when he's really angry. He's so much a better character when he's really angry. Like when Sin Cara broke his fingers and he was like flipping out, I was like, that's what I want to see all the time. I love everything. I even like the fact that he got his ass kicked by Pro Cop, amateur wrestler, MMA. I love everything about him. Except when he gets in that ring. I'm just like, what the fuck? But the main event, yeah, was really good. The main event match against him and Sheamus last week was really good. He's boring, over-pushed, overused, and under-talent. I cringe every time I hear his shit music. I'm not a big fan of Albert Del Rio at all. And I don't know. I could just come up with conspiracy theories for you. One, they're trying to be like, hey, if you don't do a CM Punk and you do this shit the right way, we're going to give you a respectable run. That's a possibility. I mean, because even though I thank you, CM Punk, thank you for everything done, I love CM Punk more than a straight man should, even with that out of the way, if I was running WWE, I would be fucking panicking and making sure. So now you're like, well, listen, you finish your contract, we won't embarrass you. That's a possibility. I mean, like I said, that's just a wrestling theory coming out of my head. But yeah, I don't know. Plus, they need a Mexican superstar. Sin Cara failed. You got to remember they travel around the world a lot. Sin Cara failed. And also, Rey Mysterio has been MIA for 976 years. All right, so bam. Thank you for the questions. Keep them coming. Ewok from Endor. Dave, would you sell your soul to get more views? Well, I don't really believe we have. Okay, let's not get too religious. All right, would I sell my soul, my wrestling soul, to God Terry Funk? For each show you make, have you tried using Cena as thumbnails to see if you get more views? I wouldn't mind using Cena if the topic's about Cena. I'm not a pro Cena guy. If to be honest with you, I do care about views. I do. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do care about views. I do care about the internet infantry growing. I do care about this stuff. Like, it would be cool to have this as a little side business. And oh my God, look how much fun we're having. I mean, I really enjoy this. It's a bit nerdy, but I do. But with that said, I've worked in television and radio, and I know what it takes to get a lot of views and sell out. And if I did that, I might as well be working in radio and television. The beautiful thing about YouTube is you could just be yourself and hope an audience comes. There are so many people out there that act positive or act negative. Just be your fucking self and see what happens. A lot of YouTubers dream of being television and radio, where me, thanks to health problems, I had to leave television and radio. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say thanks to health problems. Because of health problems, I had to leave television and radio. And I was like, wow, YouTube, I can say whatever the fuck I want. This is fun. So I think a lot of people, like, obviously, like, if I was really cared about views, I would do, like, the Pro Wrestling Report. I would have this shitty-ass fucking background. I would be like, everything's positive. Oh, I love John Cena. I love WWE. I love TNA. Because, like, TNA, if you do a positive review on TNA, you'll get a lot more interaction with TNA fans than if you do a negative one. So, yeah, would I sell my soul to get more views? Nah, probably not. I would use John Cena as a thumbnail if this show was about him, but I think we've used John Cena in the thumbnails a bunch. But, yeah, as far as selling my soul to get more views, I don't know. I would just like a nice little side project that's fun. You know, just keep it growing and me be me. Because right now we've got to the point where people are like, I'll be your YouTube agent. Come join my network. And, like, I'm like, oh, okay, what do you want us to do? And they're like, well, do this, this. I'm like, no. If I fucking wanted to do this, and that, you know, I would fucking go work for television. I don't want to do this, or that. I want to do this. I just want to sit on my fucking ass and talk shit. So, yeah, I don't know if I would sell my soul to get more views. Probably not. But, you know, I want the channel to grow. I just don't think, I just want it to grow as me. I want to make it on my own, Dad! I don't need your damn filthy drug money. Market Garden asks, oh, it's weird, Market Garden's leaving comments live, and we're going to old comments, so Market Garden's hitting it up. Wasn't Cesaro supposed to be getting the big push after breaking up the Real Americans? Swagger's flying just now, Cesaro's the one falling into obscurity. I think that, and I don't know, this is, like I said, just stump the idiot, my theories, my thoughts. I think that happened by pure mistake. I think it was Cesaro was at the right place, I mean, not Cesaro, Swagger was at the right place at the right time, and everyone was shocked he got that fucking reaction. And they're like, oh, fuck, we better run with this shit. So, I think Swagger's success is more off Russo being a great heel. Now, as far as Cesaro is, I just think he has the Dolph Ziggler, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan problem. He's talented, and the fans like him, and he built his own audience. And not even a talent. If you build your own audience in WWE, even Zack Ryder, if you do anything to build your own audience in WWE, they punish you for it. They punish you for it. It's almost like, how dare you? You know what I mean? It's just, it's crazy. It's crazy. Best thing that happened to John Cena, Randy Orton, and Dave Bautista, they never got over anywhere else. They never got over on their own. They never got over in another company. They never busted their ass on the indies. WWE's like, I love these fucking guys. We created them. It's us. But, you know, if you're like, hey, fans know you, and they cheer you because of something you did working hard across the world, how fucking dare you? Zack Ryder, what? You made us fucking millions because you started the social movement? and now we are fucking winning awards at social media that you started? How fucking dare you get yourself over? How dare you? Fuck you, Zack Ryder. WWE makes no sense to me. I think Swagger was by accident. I think Cesaro he works hard and fans like him. And, well, you just can't do that in WWE. Goddamn fools. Alright, let's see what else is going down. Bam, bam. Let's go some live comments. Bam. Aid Malin 85. Do you think that WWE have signed Sting because of CM Punk left, or do you feel they probably would have re-signed him anyway? I think they would have signed him anyway. I think just Sting is getting older, and it was hardcore negotiating. I don't think CM Punk played much of a factor in that. You know, Jericho coming back when he did, that was probably a factor. Pushing certain people probably is a factor. But as far as Sting, I just think that was 27 years in the fucking making, and they finally did it. All right. Market Garden. They tried Del Rio after John Cena was booed out of the building on every Latin American date about 4 years ago. If they had a real top guy who was over with the fans, then he wouldn't have so much crap. Yeah, so, bam. Let's see. YouTube, I love you, but you're such a pain in the ass with these live comments. Alright. Oh, alright. So, here we go. Let me start over. If they had a real top guy who was over with the fans, then we wouldn't have so much crap thrown as such an average wrestler, Rumble wins, title, etc. The problem with WWE is they want to build these guys and say, look, Daddy, I did it. And it's just a weird situation, dude. I don't understand the company at all. I just think it's a formula that they've made money with before, and they're sticking with that formula no matter what. That's not like to say I don't like Del Rio. I probably do more than most. I like everything about Del Rio except when he wrestles. Except main event, last week's main event. I can't put that show over enough. That was probably the best show in a real long time. So, bam. There you go. You know, boop. Okay, there's me again. All right, what's your favorite stable in New Japan Wrestling? Malik Douglas. Wow, that is tough. That is tough. It was Bullet Club. Without a doubt it was Bullet Club. But when AJ Styles won the title from Okada, I don't know. I don't know if I have a favorite stable. I have favorite wrestlers. I don't know if I have a favorite stable. When it was Prince Devitt in charge of Bullet Club, it was definitely Bullet Club. But now that it's AJ Styles and Okada lost the title, I don't know if I like Bullet Club. I just don't love Bullet Club. It's kind of like, oh, I wish you did that better. You know, and it's a slap in the face to Okada. It's a slap in the face to, you know, Prince Devitt. I don't know. I have a lot of favorite wrestlers. I don't know if I have a favorite stable. All right. Bam. Dave, if you were to become an internet celebrity like the Angry Video Game Nerd. Oh, jeez. I don't know if I'll ever get that. You got to remember, video games are a lot more popular than pro wrestling. Would you like to be going around the country doing appearances for conventions like Comic-Con? Yeah, I would love to do stuff like that. I don't think I'll ever get that popular. I hope so. You know, I'm writing books. I've written a lot of books with pen names, and not pen names. Ghostwriter, like someone gives me a story, write it, or someone has a problem with a story and write it. But this year I stopped taking money. I did the opposite of selling out, and I said, you know what? I'm going to try to write a couple books under my own name. I'm going to try to do it myself. And it's weird. It's kind of like you get paid a lot of money to fix other people's shit, and then you're like, wow, okay, I should be able to write my own shit. And then you start writing your own shit, and you're like, I'm so scared. I'm so fucking scared. What am I doing? Why can't I be correcting someone else's for money? Yeah, I'd love to, hopefully, you know. I'd love just to fucking tell stories and shoot the shit on YouTube. It would be great. And I probably wouldn't, I'd be honest with you, I probably wouldn't even be doing this if I didn't have bad health. I worked in television and radio and promoted wrestling, and then my health got a little bad, so I moved to Japan, and every time my health got worse, I was a history teacher and English teacher, and then my health got even worse, and we were thinking about selling Coco Sports, and everyone that used to work on the old Coco Sports advanced in life, but it was like Jerry... Pablo came on board, Pablo saved us, and Jerry came back. So, and David Cooey, who's always been there. God bless you. But yeah, there was a point in time where we were going to sell Coco Sports because all of us were successful at something else. But then I got sick, Jerry got sick, and it's like, wow, here we are. So yeah, if it wasn't for bad health, I probably wouldn't be even attempting to do this. I'd probably be teaching history while writing other people's books. What are your thoughts on the possibility of Seth Rollins' injury being a work in order to get Lesnar for Battlegrounds? I think you posted an article about it on Facebook. I think it would be interesting. This is my theory here. This is just my theory, not facts here, not spoilers, but my theory. I think Brock Lesnar, I don't know how they're going to do it. Brock Lesnar leaves Battleground as champion. I don't know if they're going to cash it in, move it in, Triple H just abuses his power, and this is just a conspiracy theory, or just my thoughts. I think Brock Lesnar leaves because they already advertised John Cena versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, but they did not advertise who the champion was. So I think that a lot of people, thanks to Amazon mess up, I think cable companies messed up, a lot of people gave out the spoilers for WWE. So I think they're like, fuck, we have to do something to get these people's attention. And Brock Lesnar is great at doing pay-per-view sales, so I have a crazy theory that has no facts or spoilers to back it up, but I think Brock leaves Battleground with the title. That's just what I think is going to happen, because I think too many people have the spoilers. I know they like to plan shit far in advance, but when they have that many spoilers, it's like, come on. You got to do something. All right, last question from live questions, and then we're going to go to saved questions, and we're going to come back to live questions. We'll go back. We got tons of questions, so this might be a long show that no one watches. All right, Market Garden. I've got a question. Do you think you would have given Bray Wyatt at least one proper win over Cena if Daniel Bryan didn't get injured? No, I don't think Daniel Bryan has no factor in it whatsoever. There's no way in hell. I would have got fired. If I was part of the creative team, and I've been part of the creative team before, they would have to fire me at WrestleMania. There's no fucking way in hell Bray Wyatt doesn't win at WrestleMania. Win cleanly. There's no way. John Cena can win the next 12 fucking times. I don't care if Daniel Bryan's injured. I don't care if Daniel Bryan's flying on the moon. I don't care if Daniel Bryan's a unicorn. There's no fucking way Bray Wyatt should have lost to John Cena at WrestleMania. And on top of that, I want you to know, I hate fucking people that act like experts and don't fucking eat the crow. Hey, I've made mistakes, and I'll come on the air and tell you I've made mistakes. Remember all those fucking YouTubers and so-called experts saying, don't worry, Bray Wyatt's going to get his? Yeah, he got his all right. Fucking ruined his goddamn career. Now, granted, he's still over his shit, but right now, look, he's getting boring chance. He never got boring chance before because everyone knows he's going to beat Chris Jericho. You brought in Chris Jericho to try to have people forget about CM Punk, and you brought in Chris Jericho to save Bray Wyatt. The problem is, everyone's seen this play. The problem with WWE is they're a great football team that's getting old running the same plays. The rumors after Mania were Daniel Bryan versus Lesnar at SummerSlam. Yeah, so Cena wouldn't have needed to win it. Let me refresh. Time out. Rewind. Market Garden, I apologize. The rumors after Mania were Daniel Bryan versus Lesnar at SummerSlam, so Cena wouldn't have needed to win to end up with the title. I don't think he needed to win anyway. I think he wins at WrestleMania. You do the... I would have been against the child thing, but, WWE probably loved that child shit. I'd have the child, and then I'd have John Cena win him clean the third time. Bray Wyatt wins at WrestleMania. Bray Wyatt starts his own streak. Bray Wyatt he can always say, I beat John Cena at WrestleMania. And that's because WrestleMania is supposed to be important. So, yeah, nothing changes. Nothing in my mind changes. There's no fucking way Bray Wyatt should have lost to John Cena at WrestleMania. None. It didn't get the reaction you wanted. I'm just angry. I'm angry thinking about it. But, all right. Boop. All right, let's go back to saved comments around the net. Goro says, if Plan C is Brock Lesnar, what is Plan B? Well, there's a really bad rumor that I don't think is true that Plan B is Brock Lesnar and Plan C is for Cookie, and that's good enough for me. C is for CM Punk. But that is the most ridiculous thing ever. That's almost as dumb as some of this stuff I said already. I think Plan B was Seth Rollins. And I think Plan C is Brock Lesnar. So I think that's how what happens. But they're being really tricky about it because they want us to believe CM Punk's returning. And maybe he does return. Maybe he returns, but let me tell you, if you tease CM Punk returning like they are doing with Paul Heyman in my eyes, and you don't deliver CM Punk, well, that fucking sucks. Don't you fucking realize that? It's like, hey, everyone who's watching live, I'm gonna fucking give you a pizza. Don't worry, the pizza's fucking coming. And oh, guess what? They're fucking pizzas in the fucking dirt. Actually, I meant you're all getting rocks. And instead of the pizza being delivered to you, you gotta come to Tokyo for your rock on your fucking dime. That's what it's like. It's like, you can't tease something awesome and deliver shit. That's a bad WWE strategy that they do too much. Alright, Brian Corson says, what do you guys believe or believe is Plan C? Plan C, Brock Lesnar, boring but most likely, yeah. Plan C equals Cesaro, or Plan C equals CM Punk. I can dream. Brian Corso, we can all dream, but I don't think that's going to happen, my friends. I think it's Brock. I think B was Seth Rollins. But who knows? Maybe they'll shock us. I know this sounds crazy, and I might get a lot of heat for this, and I absolutely hate the guy. I want it to be clear, I hate the guy. I think WWE needs to hire Vince Russo. Because it can't get worse, and at least that motherfucker will swerve you. I mean, I don't know. I'm watching really bad WCW on the network. I'm listening to a lot of Vince Russo shoots. Do I still hate him? Yeah. But at least he would fucking swerve you. He'd be like, oh, main event, John Cena versus fucking, like, this Monday Night Raw. You'd have a main event, and out of nowhere, he'd be like, it's Goldberg and David Arquette and Dennis Rodman. You didn't see that shit coming? And I'd be like, you know what? That really does fucking suck, without a doubt. But hell, dude, it can't be worse. WWE, when a huge Russo hater, such as myself, president of the Russo hating fan club, is like, you know what? He might be a better fucking choice than your creative now. You got shit to fix. You got shit to fix. All right, let's see. Ewok from Endor. Do you think the Divas spend more time trying to look good rather than putting in effort in the ring? Rosa Mendez, Samaray, Eva Marie, to me look like horses. Trust me. When you have to put makeup on to look good, then you're not good looking. Natural is what a diva should be. Yeah, all of them care. I mean, why? Why would you want to learn how to wrestle? Think about it. You fucking get on Total Divas. I would do, if I was a woman, I would do anything to get on Total Divas. And I totally agree about the makeup. Like, there are some divas that are beautiful. And it's funny, too, because, like, you can look great on television, but when you meet them in person, they're not that good looking. And then you'll see someone and be like, wow, they're not that good looking, but then when you meet them in real life, they're really good looking. Like, example, a lot of people don't consider Molly Holly to be good looking. A lot of people, if you said, oh, is she good looking? It's like, not television good looking, but you meet her in person. Molly Holly is naturally beautiful. But then you meet someone like Brock Lesnar's wife, Tori Wilson. They look beautiful on television. But I remember my daughter, we were in line, and it was Tori Wilson and Sable. And we were just in line. It was at the mall in Tampa. And she was like, Daddy, I don't want to go up to, I don't want to see these girls. I'm like, okay, why not? She had her little Disney. She was a lot younger. She had her Disney autograph book out. And I was like, oh, why not? She's like, they're really scary-looking princesses. So, yeah, sometimes makeup and Photoshop can really fix a lot on you. So, and also everyone has a different style of beauty. But, yeah, when I remember seeing Molly Holly on television, be like, ah, she's cute. But then you see her in person, you're like, holy freaking shimolies. Bickety bam, bickety boom. Molly freaking Holly. All right, bam. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, bam, bam, bam. Oh, okay, maybe Boom Boom will join us. Hold on. I'm in the show now. You want to join? Bam. All right, let's get some live comments so we don't lose live viewers. Alright, Market Garden asked, the Rollins thing wasn't a work or a real injury. I'm pretty sure I read it. It was on SmackDown, which was filmed on Tuesday. From what I've read, I didn't really look into it, but I think it's just a work. It's just a storyline to move along. Worst member of the Bullet Club that isn't Bad Luck Fail. Oh, Malik Douglas, why you kill me with these tough-ass questions? Bad Luck Fail. I don't know, like, I don't understand New Japan sometimes. I really don't, you know? Like, New Japan was so much better 2-3 years ago. and they're still the best in the world, but they're just making a lot of mistakes, and I don't understand. Bad Luck Fail has to be a really great guy, and everyone has to like him, because I don't get it. There has to be a catch about Bad Luck Fail that I don't get. Worst member of the Bullet Club. I don't know. There's so many of them now. I don't know. Well, I'll look at it. Why do they push AJ Styles like they do in New Japan? They wanted to get an American audience. They knew they were going to lose. Prince Devitt. He was a big star. They signed him to a contract. AJ Styles came because he could go back to Ring of Honor and Jarrett and work out a deal. And they really want to get an international market interested in it. That's what they want to do. And to me, they're going about it the wrong way. New Japan Pro Wrestling is going about it where, like, hey, we're going to kiss ass to former WWE and TNA guys like TNA does. And hopefully that will bring the foreigners, and hopefully that will help us break into America. But then they go to Ring of Honor, and yeah, if you're a New Japan fan, you're definitely disappointed with those Ring of Honor super shows. And I think they're going about it the wrong way. Instead of kissing ass to American companies and putting their strap on it, you should be working on subtitles. You should be working on English commentary. You should be working on getting your shit on YouTube, making it affordable. But they're going about it the wrong way, and I feel bad for them. They push AJ Styles because they figured a lot of foreign fans will jump on board, and it's the case, but they're still not making money and still not watching. So it's kind of like, yeah, people are talking about it and people are trying to pirate that match, but they're not seeing the rest of the cards. They're not opening their eyes to, where if you had subtitles, a good English commentary team, it don't have to be great, just get the point across. I just think they're going about it the wrong way, and they're pushing AJ Styles because they needed someone to save Bullet Club. It's just, I don't know. I love New Japan Pro Wrestling. I think they're the best in the world, but they're making a lot of mistakes. All right, I think we're going to try to get Boom Boom to come in. Bam, bam, bam. Let's see. Can we rock this? Can we rock this? Can we do this without it being too distracting? Let's see. Bam, bam. Let's answer a question. Joshua Green, can I purchase a 3XL Internet Infantry shirt? Not on the site, but I'm asking Big Pablo. Big Pablo, I'll get on it. I believe there are larger sizes available than the site mentions. I don't know. That's Big Pablo. We're gonna get Big Pablo. Big Pablo, let's get this T-shirt stuff going. Let's see. Kofi or Cesaro would win the Battle Royal, but my money is on Bo Dallas, simply since it would go over with Barrett hands over the title. Big E and Kofi to go on and create a tag team. Big E King to face Ryback. All right, that's more of a asking for a T-shirt and that. All right, Booms. Welcome, my friend.
Well, did this show suck without me or what? And by what, I mean Dave Kokotis. What's up, everybody? Come on, Dave, turn on the camera. Let's at least let them see me. This pretty face here. This is what sells T-shirts. This was what sells Internet Infantry T-shirts, which you can get a hold of at cocosports.com, so be sure to get yours if you got an extra $20-25 laying around. I'll tell you what, if you'll ship it to me in a self-addressed stamped envelope, I'll even autograph it for you and send it right back to you.
All right, Booms. Now, I'm ugly and my room's a wreck, so we're going all audio.
What else is new? You can at least clean the room.
They saw your pretty face. They put in all the likes. Team Boom Boom is in the house. Boom Boom, you ready? It's gonna be comments all day, baby. Andy,
how's that any different from any other show we do? You're still reading comments from Monday Night Raw. Spaghetti Noodle 1948 says, "Hey Dave, I'm looking for a good lawnmower. Can you recommend to me?" Well, Spaghetti Noodle 1948, I think a John Deere's a good solid choice. Next question. Sexy Pants 1414 says, "Hey Dave, this show is awesome." Well, thank you very much.
Exactly. Stump the Idiot. You know what? On Raw reviews, you can run the bus, but on Stump the Idiot, it's all about the comments and the Internet Infantry. So let's go, Booms. Ready?
Let's do it.
You can get the first one to get yourself warmed up. Here we go. Andy Paps.
All right.
Hey, have you guys thought of making an Internet Infantry Tag Team Championship? Because we have Dolph Ziggler, the champ, now.
No. I don't think. No, I don't. No, I'm dead serious. I don't think it's a good idea because if there was like 10 tag teams, then hell yeah, let's go for it. But look at WWE's tag team division right now. You got the Rhodes Brothers, you've got Los Matadores, you got Ryback, you got the Usos, you got the Wyatt family, and then you normally you're going to get two people slapped together. They may turn Kofi Kingston and Biggie Langston into a tag team, but right now you got about 5 tag teams, and that's totally different compared to a singles title when you've got 20 guys on that roster. It's a little bit more entertaining with that. So not that it's a bad idea, Andy Paps. It's just I think WWE's limited roster it would really not make it fun as far as tag teams go. And plus, I think it would be if it would be more fun if it could jump around, but if it could jump around between WWE, TNA, and Ring of Honor. Oh yeah, I think that would be absolutely amazing. I would love to see, the Young Bucks have the Internet Tag Team titles. That would be great, but there's no way to set up a way to where they can jump around and cross promotions, and I want it to be fun. I just don't want it to be like, okay, Wyatt family is still your tag team champions for the whole year. I just want it to be fun, and I think by doing that, it would make it not fun.
All right. I am Mikey, Mike Ashman. Would the IC Championship Battle Royal at Battlegrounds a safe platform to add NXT into the mix, or even have NXT talent work WWE pay-per-view, iPay-per-view pre-shows? Which NXT talent would you include? Yeah, this would be a good way. I think it would be a good way to break it in. I always thought at WrestleMania, the pre-show match should be the NXT Championship. I always thought that would be kind of special, but yeah, to me, I find it to be really interesting. I don't know who I'd add. I'd say Sami Zayn, but he's kind of like the only big-time guy in NXT right now. Do you have any idea who you would add?
As far as NXT guys, I would definitely put out Sami Zayn. Would absolutely be my first choice. What person I introduce via a battle royal. I do kind of like the idea about making at least one NXT match be your pre-show. Try to get people, hey, these are new people here, and you can watch these guys every Wednesday night on the WWE Network. So subscribe and check it out. And you can see all these superstars, and that way they can kind of break them in, and so that way when they pop up on Monday Night Raw, you're not going, okay, this is who? Adam Rose? What is this guy all about? Or Paige, or then because it goes from that to, oh my God, it's Paige. She showed up. Oh wow! And I think WWE, I think that would be a great way to promote NXT. It guarantees you an extra match. It gets some more guys exposure. You could probably sell a few more subscriptions to the WWE Network. I think it's a win all around.
So, all right, cool. Let's go to some live comments here. Franielli says, if he was part of the show, I would ponder to the Latino demographic. LOL. And then Franielli was excited, said, hot tag, yeah, when you came in. So Franielli's like, that was kind of like, I don't know. Franielli's like, I can be part of the show. I get to the Latino market. Oh, Boom Boom's here. Yeah, Boom Boom. Dude, this is starting to feel like real television. Like, I could take over Boom Boom Shop. Boom Boom, I'm so glad you're here. How you doing? You still work at television. Was your network like that? Our network was really like that. It was like, oh, man, I'll do anything to get that guy's position. Hey, Bob, you're doing great. Good luck. I'm behind you 100%. Listen, Bob sucks. Get me in the game. All right. Hook and shoot. What's up, guys? Posting this at work. I think Kenta already realizes that he made a poor decision to come to the WWE because they sent Tan Zombie Hulk Hogan to be in the press conference. That's like hearing you're going to get to hang out with a movie star and you wind up with Shia LaBeouf. You know what? Yeah, Hulk Hogan's not the guy. Hulk Hogan's not the Hulkster we know and love that we grew up with. I didn't really love him, but he's not the Hulkster that we knew. But yeah, WWE, I can't bash them for their tour in Japan. Now, how are they going to use Kenta in America? That scares the shit out of me. But in Japan, it's the first time they sold out. It's the first time they handled everything correctly. money. They did, you know, if I said, hey, every house show that I've lived in Japan, what would you rate their tour, their house show tour? I would say a D-. And this one I have to give an A+. They did the television circuit, they did the media, they're in all the newspapers, they're in, you know, so they really rocked Japan, and they did a great job. So, bam. All right. This is a long one, Booms. So I'll answer this because you don't have the list in front of you. All right. Yeah, I'll just answer it. Booms, take a breather, buddy. Okay. All right. Because it's a long list, and the list ain't in front of you. So WWE is an emotional roller coaster for diehard fans. They fuck up the good and force feed this shit. That's pretty accurate. And this is from Mike Ashman, by the way. In the sake that I misstumped the idiot, how about a quick timeout I had to ask this year's Pro Wrestling Guerrilla Bolo Battle of LA. The number of this year's entrants have been bumped up to 24. It is a stacked tournament. Who you putting your money on the top 3 picks? All right, the number 1 pick was Matt Sydal, former Everborn. You got Chris Sabin, Michael Elgin. I'm trying to look. ACH, Trent Beretta, but Trent question mark because I don't think he's come up with a name yet. AJ Styles, AR Fox, Chuck Taylor, Roderick Strong, Adam Cole, Ricochet. Oh, Ricochet, so good. Kenny Omega. This is the fucking greatest tournament ever. There, I said it, Mike Ashman. I was like, oh, Battle of Los Angeles. Yeah, maybe I'll buy that fucking DVD later. Oh, maybe I'll. Mike Ashman. I'm fucking buying a DVD now. My top 3, AJ Styles because he has the title. Ricochet because he's beyond fucking amazing. ACH, Roderick Strong. I can't do 3, dude. This is too good of a fucking tournament. But all right, if I have to do 3, Booms, put the gun to my head. I'm doing 3. Ricochet, Roderick. Oh, they got Chris Hero too. Ricochet. What the fuck? This is the greatest tournament ever. We might have to fucking buy this. Hopefully it's on high pay-per-view. Ricochet, Roderick Strong, AJ Styles. And I might change my mind in 5 seconds. But seriously, that is fucking oh god, that's gonna be the greatest fucking thing ever. Way to go, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. How the fuck? Just wow. What can you say to that besides wow? All right, bam, bam. All right, some live comments here. Franielli, Ziggler has yet to lose the Internet Championship belt. I'm quite surprised. Batun Tush! LOL. I think
wait till Monday.
Tush? I don't know. Yeah. Boom Boom is a little sad that Ziggler won the Internet title because he thinks he's going to lose it. All right, Market Garden, one of my favorite new rookies of the Internet Infantry, coming out of nowhere to be awesome. How much shittier is the new Goldust and Cody tag team compared to what a real feud between them would have been? I remember your comments at Mania about the pizza coming hours too late after the game. Give us another analogy to describe what food's being served up late now. So you order a pizza, your pals for the main event, and 6 hours later you get blank at the door. Yeah, the original story is we were really mad that the Rhodes brothers didn't go at it. And I described the Rhodes brothers not going at it at WrestleMania because they said they were going to do it at SummerSlam as you were at the Super Bowl, you ordered a pizza, and at 3 o'clock in the morning, once everyone left, the pizza came. But to me, I think this is me. All right, we want to see the Rhodes brothers go at it at WrestleMania. So we order a pizza during the Super Bowl. Everyone leaves, and at 3 o'clock in the morning, they give you the wrong order, and you're like, yeah, it's the best you can do. Like, you just give up. You don't even, you just tip, you give up. You just tip them. Like, you ordered a pizza at Super Bowl, and instead of it coming at 3 o'clock in the morning, they gave you wings that were a little too spicy, and they gave you blue cheese instead of ranch. You know, you're happy, but you're just like, eh, all right. Does that sound pretty accurate?
That sounds pretty good to me. I could make a better analogy myself.
Javier Olamos, I hope I pronounced that right, is the Big Show coming back? I see him winning the Battle Royal at Battleground. Booms, that's yours. I've been hogging the spotlight.
Is Big Show coming back? Well, your guess is good as mine. As far as I know, he's not injured. He's clear to compete. Now, they bring him out from time to time just to, like, punch people in the face. I mean, he did that with Damien Sandow a few weeks ago in Miami when Damien Sandow put on the, was the San Antonio jersey, I believe, and just knocked his ass out right. No, it wasn't San Antonio. I think it was the Clippers. But anyway, knocked his ass out, and and he's just kind of popping his head up every now and then. I think it's just credit doesn't have anything for him.
All right. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think at this part of his career, I don't think him winning a title means anything. Like, I think it's a waste of time for the title. But he is kind of from the Tampa area. Almost everyone is from the Tampa area, so the pay-per-view is in Tampa, but I don't know. I don't think he's ready for a title. I just didn't think it would make no sense. Malik Douglas says, how do I fully get away from watching the WWE? Every time I say I won't watch, I end up watching anyway. It's ridiculous. Yeah, that's what I say about that's what I say about my diet. Like, oh, I'm not going to eat fucking fatty foods. Oh, my God, it feels so good. Rub it on my boobies. I don't know. This is my suggestion, just because I'm an egotistical asshole. I'm going to steal a line from, who's the guy that you really like? The internet celebrity? Guy with the glasses? Nostalgia Critic, right?
The Nostalgia Critic? Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, the Nostalgia Critic. He says something along these lines, but I'll say it. Why not, you don't watch it, but keep watching or listening to our shows, depending if it's audio or video, and we'll watch it so you don't have to. So that when it's good, we'll tell you. And then you can come back. And then you can be like, well, I'm not really missing wrestling. I'm still listening to these fat asses talk about it. I think we just saved the world. We are sacrificing our Monday nights for you. I don't know if that was a proper answer. Do you have anything to add to that, or was that good?
Well, I mean, you can avoid WWE. I mean, like Dave said, just keep watching our show and judge by our reactions if you want to go back and watch it. I mean, it's 2014. You can do that. Or don't subscribe to the WWE Network. Avoid the USA Network. I would say watch TNA, but I don't want to torture you. I would say try to follow, the best you can online. Through CocoSports.com. We've got a lot of different promotions. You can check out stuff from Japan. I think we got some stuff from Mexico from time to time. Now, if it really bothers you that the commentary is in English, it may be a problem. But just turn down the volume. You can just sit back and enjoy it. I think that's something you can definitely do. But particularly Japan, I've been blown away with them. I think Ring of Honor's been hit or miss as of late. But when they hit, I mean, dude, they're fucking spot on. So I'd say
Pro Wrestling Guerrillas card sounds stacked.
Yeah, it sounds great. I may have to check that out.
Rihanna Jackson, I hope you guys didn't buy the network. It's losing the content it promised. I tried to find a Brian Pillman with a gun episode, and it's not there, and neither are many of the other episodes. That sucks. And with them having only Raw pre-show as live, and they're probably ditching that, it's not even worth $9.99 anymore. Well, if you don't stream the pay-per-views legally, it might be. Plus, it keeps lagging, so I can't watch the whole show before Raw came on. More like $4.99 or $5.99. Biggest waste of money I spent, in my opinion. The biggest waste of money was me. I was like, Dan Bryan was champ. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to buy the network. And then I went to this guy who said he could get me the network in Japan, and I sent him, I think it was like $12 or something. And then I had to pay the network, so it was like $12, and he was going to set me up with something, and he just stole my $12. And I was like, that's what I get for trying to do shit legally. But yeah, they should have everything. The Fight Pass has such a better strategy. Start off small and add shit like crazy. Like Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, Ring of Honor, spin-off shows at WWE of actual wrestling, different styles. That'd be awesome. You make New Japan. New Japan's trying to get into America. Bam. There you go. I don't know, but the problem is they have too much of an ego for that, and yeah, I don't know. I tried to buy the network, and I live in Japan. It just didn't work out. Booms, do you want to add anything about the network?
No, I think we're good on that one. I did try to check it out when they did the free preview. They've got, WCW old stuff on there. I'd like to watch WCW back in the early 90s. I think back before the Monday Night Wars, while the company itself may have been a wreck management-wise, in-ring product-wise, it was great. They've even got don't get me wrong, I like the ECW pay-per-views, but getting to go back to watch hardcore TV back, starting back to 1993, 1994, in that time frame when it was just firing up, Oh man, that's awesome.
Manatuko6. I think this. We can do this real quick because I think this actually got through. Will Kenta be a lemon or a rosebud? And I think that's all up to WWE. But booms, gun to your head. Lemon or rosebud? Kenta.
It's gonna be a rosebud.
All right. Well, there you have it. Bam. Ewok from Endor. Kenta needs a manager, or he'll be the next Yoshitatsu. LOL. Yeah, I would love to see him get a manager. I'd love to see him talk. Maybe a Paul Heyman guy would be perfect. And all that, but I think Rob came up with a really good storyline about him saying he's the best in the world, and I did this way before CM Punk, and Paul Heyman doing the talking would be great. One thing I didn't like, and I have a love-hate relationship with Jim Ross. I didn't like Jim Ross said, "Oh, he doesn't speak English, so he will never get over." That's what he basically said. I'm paraphrasing that, but I was like, if he was a giant white guy who couldn't cut a promo, you wouldn't say that. You would say,
Well,
"Oh, he just needs a manager."
They do have that guy. They do have that guy. He's called Sheamus.
Yeah. So I was kind of disappointed at Jim Ross's view on Kenta, and he's being honest. Sometimes when you're honest, you're not going to agree with everything, but at the same time, I'm like, that's kind of a racist statement because if he was a white guy, if he was Jack Swagger, he wouldn't have said that. I think it's bullshit, dude, and I hope fucking there's a Japanese superstar that doesn't fucking embarrass us, dude. Because my whole thing is, I live in Japan, and they don't even say anything. You're just sitting there watching the show, and you feel the room get a little bit hotter, and you turn to your Japanese buddies, and they're just giving you the look. Like, you fucking racist cocksuckers. You know what I mean? Like, they just give you the look. And, yeah, it was bad. Like, the Ring of Honor pay-per-view was bad. Yoshitatsu is bad. No Japanese guy in the top 100 is bad. And I live here, and, I'd love an American company that wasn't a bunch of fucking racist cockholes. But, yeah. And it's weird, because AJ Styles comes here, wins the title, doesn't know Japanese, and we're fine with that, but if he was a giant white guy who couldn't cut a promo, Jim Ross would be like, "There's money. Just got to get that guy a manager." But since he's Japanese, that's not even an option. He has to learn English. All right. Alex the Sauce Boss. Did WWE just predict the main event of Battlegrounds? It really looks like Cena will win. Maybe Reigns. No, Reigns ain't winning. I think everyone knows Cena will win. That's why I think they're going to do that Plan C shit with Brock Lesnar. But they might even just be teasing that. It might be one of those, we're going to deliver you pizza. And not even good pizza. We're going to deliver you the shittiest pizza in fucking the world. But just kidding. We delivered you rocks. Get it? That's entertainment. I don't know. I think it's obvious that John Cena's going to win or Brock Lesnar does fucking rude. But I don't know. Maybe they'll surprise us and be awesome. You know what? I miss the days of being surprised and it'd be awesome. We need Booms. Let's have a heart-to-heart. I think it's time. Let's talk to WWE. It's me, Booms, WWE, and the Internet Intro. We're going to have a heart-to-heart. Okay. I think it's time you give us something awesome. It's been too long. I know I know there's Facebook fans that really just love making fun of wrestling fans. I know that there's indie workers who fucking love scream and bark and smark at everybody, but the reality is you have to give us something good sooner or later, right? They have to throw us a bone.
They have to. Well, here's the thing. Going into the summer, traditionally, and this is not just a WWE thing, this is television, just a television thing, TV ratings tend to drop, so that's why, you don't see, like new shows, with the exception of, the USA Network and maybe Cartoon Network. You don't see a lot of new shows because it's summertime, the kids are out of school, people are out, people are doing things, people just aren't watching television. So that's why when it gets into about September, after Labor Day, the kids are back in school, the weather's starting to cool down, people are starting to get back in the routine, so that's when you start to see, the fall season premiere, and so WWE, is no exception, especially now in 2014, where you don't have to, it used to be that for you to watch TV, to catch a show, you had to be there on that night, at the right time in front of your TV and watching it. If you were lucky, you had a VCR and you could record it. And that's the way people watch TV. Well, now it's 2014. You can go back and watch it online. You can go DVR it. You can, TiVo it, whatever it is you do. You can go back and watch it. Well, WWE, especially in the summertime, wants to kind of keep those ratings up, even in this age of technology. So they want to come up with a big summer angle to keep people interested, so that way they keep watching WWE through the summer and don't. Because if they fall off, chances are they're not going to come back in the fall. They're going to be lost. They're not going to know about storylines. They're not going to, because then some guy may be face that used to be a heel and vice versa. Someone who didn't have a championship now has a championship, and it's going to be confusing. So they want to kind of keep people hooked. So they need to come up with a big angle. So I think that's what the Roman Reigns project is. And actually, it's going to be Brock Lesnar, excuse me. Brock Lesnar is going to be that huge summer project they're going to commit to. So that'll be partial to the bone they throw us. But Dave Kokotis actually made a great point a few weeks ago that September, actually, yeah, it'll be, August or September. I'm pretty sure it's September. WWE's definitely going to have to throw us a bone. They're going to be kissing our ass. They're going to have to give us what we want, give us some dream matches, because that's when the initial round of subscriptions for the WWE Network run out. If you subscribed in April, so May, June, July, August, September, October is when they expire. So come September, they're going to need to start doing things that we want, especially going into October, because they're going to want fans to renew their subscriptions to the WWE Network and hang on for another 6 months. Otherwise, they're toast. So, I think they definitely need to throw us a bone. I think they're going to toss us one soon with Brock Lesnar. They're going to keep carrying on this Roman Reigns thing because, well, face it, we haven't turned on him yet. And he's going to, if he can survive the stench of John Cena, then the kid's bulletproof.
Well, he's doing a lot of smart things where he's throwing Cena under the bus. That's helping him keep his coolness factor, where the Usos were like, we're best buddies, look at us, we got the same color testicles. So the one thing that's helping Roman Reigns is at least he's throwing him under the bus. And yeah, like you said, September's going to be huge. And I was watching the network, the best of WCW, and dude, I just wish WWE had a legit competition. And who knows, September, resubscribing might be that legit competition, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I kind of miss WWE being challenged. All right, bam, let's go some live comments. Oh, Booms, this one's all you. Well, I'll answer it after you. Over, under on how long Dolph Ziggler keeps the Coco Sports Internet title?
2 weeks, and I'm taking the under.
I'm going to go 2 weeks over. Tiffany Nikki, I like you more now than ever. She said Ricochet is my fave. Man, Ricochet is pretty amazing. Marcus Rowland says, I think Sting versus Rock in an Icon versus Icon match, or Sting versus Triple H for Control of Raw would be better than Undertaker match at WrestleMania 31. I don't know, because Sting versus Rock would be bad because they both need someone to carry them, in my opinion. I know a lot of TNA fans say, chant, you still got it, but that's not the case. Sting versus Triple H would be great, but I think a lot of people would turn on Triple H. I think Sting versus Triple H is the best for in-ring product, and for the Control of Raw would be, kind of a good storyline, and Sting could stay a character, suit up, But the problem with Sting versus Triple H is I think a lot of fans would be like, oh, it's just fucking Triple H hogging the spotlight. I think they have to go Sting versus Undertaker just because I wouldn't enjoy that match, but so many people have been talking about it for so long. So I think it has to be Sting versus Undertaker, even though, Marcus doesn't want that. I think Sting versus Triple H would be the best match. Sting versus Rock might sell the most tickets, but who's carrying that match? One thing, I bash John Cena. I bash John Cena a lot, but John Cena, you got to give him props when it's due. John Cena carried The Rock to a great match. Market Garden says, the network structure is stupid. They didn't need to create any new technology or even a new platform. They could have cut a deal with Netflix or even YouTube. I would have loved if they cut a deal with YouTube. The international deal with YouTube. And contract on providing the old shows they promised from the start, but they're nowhere to be seen. I tried the free trial here in the UK. Wasn't really that impressed. The pay-per-view deal is still worth the money to 9 pirates, but they sold it. They sold it to me on the old stuff. Fuck them. And I think a lot of people are like that. I think the network is a really big thing. And Dana White said something about the Fight Pass. I don't know if I've said this already, so if I'm repeating, I apologize. But Dana White kind of threw a dig at WWE. And he's like, they asked him about the Fight Pass. And he's like, oh, Fight Pass is doing wonderful. And he's like, well, how did you do it? He's like, well, first, we brought in other companies, and we're going to spread out into other martial arts. And we didn't advertise it being the greatest thing ever. We just said, hey, here's a bonus thing, and it grew from there. When you promise everything and don't deliver, people leave angry. But if you say, hey, this is just an extra thing, and we're going to make it as best we can, it's just a different mindset. Like, sometimes not being the best and growing is better than, we're the greatest at everything, and failing. But you don't learn that till, like, later on in life or in business. But it seemed like Dana White took the right path. And granted, you know, WWE did a lot better, but at the same time, everyone's seeing them as a failure, and everyone's seeing Fight Pass as a success, and Fight Pass's future is a lot brighter. So, there you go. All right, we're almost done, Booms. So, live comments, get them in, because we're almost out of regular comments. Or reserved comments, sir. Moving on. Ewok from Endor. WWE should bring back King of the Ring. It creates its own story and could give the mid-card as a purpose to main event for once. Ewok, that's not a question, but yes. Anytime I could say on a podcast, bring back King of the Ring, I will. Booms, can you just say, Dave, you're absolutely right, King of the Ring is the greatest fucking thing the human race has ever created?
Well, I think King of the Ring is good to get if it's used correctly. It's used to kind of pull somebody out of obscurity and put them, you know, give them a big push. I mean, it really helped out for Edge, not so much for Billy Gunn, but it for the most part, I think it does more good than bad. I would love to see him bring it back. As far as it being a pay-per-view, I don't know, maybe. I think you could do like the final 3 matches. You have like the semifinals. You could have like a big tournament, and then you have the semifinals and the final on the pay-per-view. You start out with your 2 semifinal matches, then you go through some regular matches, then you do your finals, and then maybe have like a main event, like a title match. I think that could work out. Them doing it on Raw, they've done it before. It just doesn't have the same feel to it, but then again, like I said, WWE can fuck up a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
All right. Tiffany Nikki says, you know what I noticed about all these questions about New Japan? It's like they're like finding like the shittiest parts about New Japan and be like, explain this. And I feel like I'm on trial. Like, you know that southern accent you do of the lawyer? I feel like I'm on trial about New Japan. Like, oh dear, do it. Can you do your little thing?
Your Honor, I submit some evidence here to the courtroom here for my client, New Japan. Now, I know I'm just a simple country lawyer, and I'm not this big, big in this big city here. But I do say here that this evidence here is presented here is Okada. I say, sir, that this is evidence that New Japan is headed in the right direction, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Dude, that's one of my favorite voices you do, sir. All right, Tiffany Nikki asks, and they're all questions like, hey, your wife's good looking, but you're fat. Please explain that. Like, all right. Tiffany Nikki says, in New Japan Pro Wrestling, why did Takashi, I'm going to mess this up, Takashi Iizuka, I totally fuck up his name, switch stables? Could you explain why the audience is laughing at this feud? Also explain the appeal of the Iron Glove. All right, first off, he's one of the most embarrassing things about pro wrestling.
Are you talking about the Japanese Val Venus?
No, he does a comedy gimmick where he goes down and, like, he's an old guy. He's 47. He's been wrestling a really long time. And the one flaw that I think Japan has is that they'll book their elders till it makes no sense whatsoever. And some of them they don't mind. They step down graciously, like Liger. He's like, oh, I'll just do the pre-shows to the big events. But this guy, he has this gimmick, he has this deal, and it's Japanese It's Japanese comedy at its best, okay? And he comes down and just bullies basically the Michael Cole of New Japan, and they spray paint him. Sometimes they spray paint him like Drymon. Sometimes they spray him in a bikini. They just embarrass him with spray paint. I think one time they painted him as Mario. My favorite was Drymon. My kids died laughing. And they just bully it up, and then he has this weapon, and it's so embarrassing. It's Your Honor, New Japan is really good, I swear. He has this weapon. It's like a karate glove, but it only goes on your fucking fingers. Like, imagine doing a straight head karate, and then he puts on this like metal silver glove, but it's made of tinfoil, and then he gives people like a chop like Kali, and they sell it like it's the worst thing ever, and it's just beyond embarrassing. But it's Japanese comedy. Like, if you travel the world, different people have different comedies. Like, if you're loud, really loud, and talk fast, you're American. If you're dry wit, you're from England. In Japan, a lot of the comedy, and a lot of people get mad because they use the word comedians, and it's really, you're not a comedian, you're a celebrity. But a lot of comedy it's physical comedy, kind of like Three Stooges, and him bullying that guy and painting him like Drymon is funny to them. And it's also a lot of facial expressions. That's why a lot of times people will be watching it, and the Japanese audience is laughing their ass off, and America's like, what the fuck is going on? He just jumped the play-by-play guy and painted him up like Drymon. I don't know why they left. He just recently in Yokohama, he changed stables. I guess just to keep him in storylines. I don't know. I really haven't followed it, but yeah, people jump stables all the time, but he's more of an older guy, an older gentleman, and it's very Japanese comedy. Like, and I don't know, like a lot of people are like, oh, that's racist, but there is a difference. Like, there's a difference, like even if you take UK comedy compared to American comedy, there's a difference between the comedians. Well, in Japan, it's very facial expression, physical comedy, and he does that very well.
Japan, isn't like puns, like the use of puns, a big part of comedy?
A little bit. It's mostly like facial expression. Like, you'll watch it and Americans really hate, most Americans, you know, there's some people like, I want to be Japanese no matter what. Look at me, I'm Japanese, I really think so. Or I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. I love everything. But most honest people, like when they come to Japan and watch the shows, the game shows are really funny because they have celebrities do crazy shit, but like the comedy talk shows just ain't that funny, even if you know the language. It's just a different type of comedy. So they laugh their asses off and he does the same shit every fucking time. Like 90% of New Japan shows start off with him coming out, and he finds the guy, and he handcuffs him, strips him naked almost, and paints funny pictures on him. And then the good guys, whoever they are for that show, come down and try to save him. They've been running that storyline for 900 years. Like, I don't even think it's a storyline. I think it's like, this is how we start New Japan shows. So, yeah, I hope I answered your question. It's just, I'm describing something I don't enjoy, so it feels kind of awkward. I feel like I'm on trial defending New Japan. Okada rules! And you just leave the courtroom. Like, I'm on trial. I'm like, thank you for that question, Tiffany Nikki. And I'm like sweating, and then I just go, Okada rules! And then run. I don't know if I even answered her question. Booms. Is that good enough for passing a stump the idiot answer?
Well, yeah, I think we went a little too long on it, but yeah.
All right, last predetermined comment, I guess is a word you could use, and then after that, it's all live. Ewok from Ender. What? Well, sorry, I got it. Would the Shield still be as good as it was without any one original member? Would the Shield still be as good okay, so I guess would the Shield be as good if it still had the original ones? All right.
Are you talking about, would the Shield still be good if it had all the original members, or is he saying that
all right, let's answer two questions, because I'm not really sure where this comment's going. Do you think if anyone, when Shield first came out, do you think there's anyone that could have joined them and replaced someone and still been good? And I think for that answer, Roman Reigns was supposed to be replaced by Chris Hero. But Chris Hero now is wrestling at Pro Wrestling Guerrilla and gained a little bit of weight, and Roman Reigns is about to be the Golden Boy. So I think it's one of those things that you made the right bet there, even though I still love Chris Hero.
I think Tyler Graves could have filled the spot, personally.
Who's that?
Corey Graves. I think he could have filled the spot.
Yeah. Does Corey Graves still have a job? I know I should probably know.
As far as I know, I don't think they've released anybody
we just stumped ourselves. Stumped the idiot. We stumped ourselves. Internet Infantry. Does Corey Graves still have a job? All right, and now we're going to rephrase this question. When Seth Rollins left, do you think they could have added someone, a third person, and the Shield still be over? I think they could have, but I don't know who they would have got. Who would you have got? Seth Rollins, go back time machine, Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I would have got Corey Graves to fill like a third spot. I think he kind of has the look and personality that would work for it. So, but would it be as good? I honestly think that whoever they got would be unfairly compared to the very person they were trying to replace. So to me, it would be like, okay, remember when Van Halen had, David Lee Roth, and then all of a sudden it switched over to Sammy Hagar, and you kind of got like, well, remember how they were always doing the comparison? They called it Van Hagar after a while, and they kept comparing it. Well, it's not as good as when Roth was the lead singer. So I think that's the kind of stuff you would have run into.
Yeah, and I think you would have went to a real high level, because me and Boom's been doing this for a while. And every time someone comes in, they're like, oh my God, are you guys breaking up forever? And the same thing even with YouTube guys, like Game Grumps. People are like, oh, Danny's not as good as JonTron. Fuck you, JonTron suck. I love both. I love all the Game Grumps. There, I said it. Judge me if you will. All right, Booms, I got to go pick up my wife, so we're going to go live comments and wrap this bad boy up, all right?
And by the way, Corey Graves, yes, is still on NXT's roster.
All right, there you go. All right, bam, bam. Dave, have you forgotten about Awesome Kong? No, I have not. I absolutely love Awesome
God, don't get him started.
I really do love Awesome Kong. I think she's such a... For the little time I'd met her, I fell in love with her. She's a great personality. I love Awesome Kong. There, I said it. I have not forgotten about Awesome Kong. Do you think the U.S. and IC belts will stay separated? Marcus Rollins asked. I hope not. I hope they put them together. And I don't know, the U.S. title, because there's talks about Big Gold being retired this Monday night. Ric Flair's just going to keep it. It's going to be a Ric Flair thing, and then the WWE title. But I think the U.S. and Intercontinental titles come together for one reason and one reason only. They have too many titles, and they can't book them to save their lives. So bringing all these titles together. They put tag team titles together. I just think combining them is a good thing. Franielli asked, when you guys bringing Butt Slammers and Friend back? That skit was awesome. I forget what...
Oh, my God.
Maybe. I don't know. We were kind of depressed this last Raw. If there's a couple more depressing Raws like this week, just for our sanity, we'll have to bring back Butt Slammers.
Dude, that was fucking... I mean, for what, it was funny, but then we had people who had never seen the show before, like, tune in, and they're like, you can't be serious. This can't be real. No. Are you guys serious? Oh, my God. That was one of the funniest fucking things we did. We played... For those of you who didn't see it, we basically put on costumes, and by costumes... Dave turned his hat around backwards. I put on a scarf. He was Superfan 99, and I was Orton Butt Slammers. And we were completely positive about WWE. It was like everything they did was fucking genius. So if WWE gets back into a rut and we're all just fucking depressed and everybody keeps talking about bitching about how we're negative all the time, we'll probably bring them back and be positive fans again.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't felt, to be honest with you, I haven't felt depressed or... Not depressed, but almost like, what the fuck are we going to even say about this? For a while. But this Monday Night Raw was pretty close to that feeling. It was pretty bad. I don't know about you, but I felt really bad going into it. You know what I mean? All right. Snafu Killjoy says, bring back the Dungeon of Doom or the Oddities of the Job Squad. 3MB forever. Yeah, a lot of fans like a lot of fans like the stables. Go ahead, Booms.
They do have the Job Squad. It's the same roster. Let's see who's in it. Damien Sandow's in it. Dolph Ziggler's in it. God, who else? Titus O'Neil's in it. The Great Khali's in it. Santino was in it, but he's retired. So, yeah, they've still got the Job Squad.
I'm still shocked. I've said this a bunch, but I'm going to say it again. I'm really shocked that they got rid of 3MB. It's just everyone loved them, and they never had to win. Why would you cut them? It makes no sense. You know what I mean? Malik Douglas says, I feel bad for my question about New Japan now. No, don't worry. We're just having fun. At least I asked, like, 2 good ones. Malik Douglas, don't worry. We're just having fun. All right, and Malik Douglas says, Corey Graves got injured, and they're looking for new stuff for him to do. He's probably retired now, I think. Question mark. All right, and bam. Bam. Sorry, it was the only match I didn't like or understand in a 5-hour show. Don't worry, Tiffany Nikki. I think sometimes people take our little jokes a little too seriously. No, we love all the questions. Bring the New Japan questions. Sometimes I feel guilty answering. I know this sounds crazy. Let's go off a crazy train. Booms, we're about to wrap up. Did you not expect a Coco crazy train? Sometimes I feel guilty being a white guy in Japan. Fucking be like, oh, let me talk about Japan Pro Wrestling. I don't know why. It's fucking kind of weird. Maybe I shouldn't have brought that up. Anyway, yeah, ask me anything. I'll give you my honest opinion. I'm an idiot. I've been wrong before. Market Garden. No way. Graves fits in with the Shield. Second to CM Sandow coming out to Punk's music. I want to see Sandow do the Shields. Oh, and Ricochet losing, but I like Coda. Yeah, dude, that was an amazing fucking match. I just can't believe how good Ricochet's been. That's awesome, Tiffany and Nikki, that you watch those shows. Maybe I'll have to start doing reviews like that. All right, I think that's it. Booms, you want to give him a couple seconds? How about you plug what you got to plug, and then if there's any live questions, we'll do it.
Yeah, I'll plug. Look, there's a couple things I want to plug. First of all, look down here in the comments below you. I've left a little Easter egg for members of the Internet Infantry. I didn't do this intentionally with Raw because I know we have like a lot more guests, but I know if you're watching this, you're a hardcore, you're with the Internet Infantry, so please look down there. I just posted it. It's an episode of Steven Universe. Yes, it's a kid's cartoon, but I said just trust me on this. Just watch this one episode, and I want you. It's a wrestling theme episode, of course, and I want you to, as soon as you watch it, I want you to explain to me how their booking on that children's cartoon is better than WWE or TNA's booking. Simple homework assignment. But in the meantime, be sure to check us out at cocosports.com. That's KOCOsports.com. It's your home for all combat sports. That includes mixed martial arts, boxing, wrestling, all kinds of wrestling, amateur wrestling, sumo wrestling, of course pro wrestling. And then you can always check out our blogs there, particularly Coco's Corner. We've also got news, gossip. We've even got our very popular video on demand section, so you can check out wrestling from around the world, but you got to go to cocosports.com. It's available 24/7. It's where the world goes to kick ass.
All right, and also make sure to buy our T-shirts. I did a main event review, and it's not getting those numbers I thought it was going to get. We were averaging 1,000 plus each show, and that main event is struggling. So go check out my main event review. Booms, thank you for being part of Stump the Idiot. We're going to live questions. Bam, bam. All right, this is your last chance. If not, maybe we'll answer it in the comments. Bam. All right, we got nothing. Facebook. All right, Booms. All right, this is a question just for you, but I guess, you know, a big-ass question. It's from Facebook. You ready?
Ready.
We're about to wrap up the show. Wait till you hear how vague this question is. Booms. Okay. We heard Dave. What's your thoughts on CM Punk? That's it. Do you think that was a vague enough question to end the show with?
Yeah, I think it's a big enough question. My thoughts on it is, you know, best of luck to him. I think I think he'll come back. I think once he cools down, I think he'll be fine. He's got fuck you money. He's saved up. He's ready to go. So I think he's a future Hall of Famer despite the walkout. I think honestly him going out this way is kind of it fits him. It fits his personality that he just, he was on top of the world, and he just walked away from it because he wasn't happy, and I wish more people could do that. Hell, I wish I could do that. So he did a lot of good things. He started out humbly as a self-trained guy, worked his way up through the independents, became a global superstar, became the longest-reigning WWE champion in the modern era, a record that's going to be difficult to top. So, it's sad to see him go, but it doesn't take away from anything that he did in WWE. He will be missed. I'm hoping the door is open, which I think it is, for a return. So who knows? They can, if bridges can be mended. I mean, think about it. They let Eric Bischoff on Raw. They managed to get Bruno Sammartino onto Raw. They, got The Rock, to take a break from Hollywood for a little while to come back on Raw. So I think it's definitely within the realm of possibilities.
All right, and Booms, this will be the last question. First-time viewer, long-time listener from Dave Coco. On your last day of your work, are you coming out with CM Punk's music blaring? Are you just like the last day, your contract's up?
I think that's what I'm going out to.
On your last day of work?
Do what?
Have you ever done anything crazy on your last day of work?
No, I haven't. This one I may I may come in and lead to Cult of Personality.
Like, I'm out, bitches. Peace. All right, we have tons of show ideas to do. We have a pay-per-view profits, and we just have tons of shows lined up. I might do another show later tonight so that no one will be able to watch it live because you'll all be sleeping, or we'll definitely do shows tomorrow. Boom Boom, I think your next show that you're scheduled for, and this is a rough, it's not like we have a real schedule. It's pay-per-view profits, right?
Right. We need to do pay-per-view profits this week.
We need to do pay-per-view profits, and I might have a couple other ideas. I got a million ideas for shows, just not enough time. And I have to go pick up my wife, because when you're as ugly as me, you got to make sure that your wife doesn't get picked up by some super hot Kenta Japanese-looking man going, "Oh, come with the real man." And I'm like, no! Okay, I don't know where that was going. Anyway, go to KokoSports.com, KOCO Sports.com. And with that, I am